Good morning. Hey, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. It is a little later in the week. It's a rainy day out here on the East Coast. And today I want to talk about agendas and not just like, oh, Greg's going to talk about agendas. I've talked about agendas before, but I want to talk about coaching opportunities lost. And I see a lot of agile coaches, managers, people that value their time or whatever, but they're losing on the opportunity that when they get an invite for a meeting that they don't take the time to coach the person who sends the invite out. So, it will really be good at agenda or, if it's a repeating meeting, what's your schedule for like updating the event that's coming up with an agenda? How do you go about doing that? And just getting them in the habit. And we'll talk about that. Why we're going to talk about the details of why it's a good thing to have agendas too. So it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And this is our 726th episode. And we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical, tactical way so you can bring value to your customer, not work crazy hours. And we're going to talk about working those crazy hours and make sure we're bringing the right value and get home to family and friends, have fun in the office, have fun at home. So, calendar. This is calendar kind of week. I'm doing a thing on calendar stuff, just pet peeves kind of getting to me lately. But also as an Agile coach and Scrum Master and get invited to a lot of meetings, right, throughout the enterprise. And I see other people, other Scrum Masters, other Agile coaches will tell me, well, yeah, if they don't put in an agenda in the invite, I just don't go, or I decline the invite. And I'm like, okay, as an Agile coach, you just lost an opportunity to coach that person on how to better facilitate a meeting to actually happen. And I told stories about previous bosses would go like, man, I don't know why anybody's coming to your meeting because you don't tell anybody what the meeting is. And you're inviting high-level managers, and high-level managers have very important meetings to go to. And if they don't know what your meeting is, they're probably not going to go to your meeting. And he didn't get it. And I had to explain it to him and coach him through that process. And then finally, he started putting agendas in his meeting invites. So sometimes when you take the time, they do listen. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it just fails. So, like I just gave an example there, why is it important to have an agenda in a meeting notice or invite in a calendar? Because people have conflicting priorities. I just talked to you yesterday about how people don't, they fill in their calendar so people don't invite them to meetings because they're afraid to death to tell someone no. They don't want to have that conflict, even though it's not really conflict, but they think it in their mind it is conflict. I can't say no. I can't say I can't go to the meeting. No, you can, but anyway. So if we don't put the agenda, the people getting the invites may or may not go. It depends what they have more valuable. You're also not helping the person making a value decision or value judgment decision on what's higher priority, your meeting or getting something done for the customer. If your meeting is like, spread out of 20 years, right, which I hate those. We talk about them too in the show. Or is it something you want to get done and fix and solve a problem? Maybe that has more value, but they don't know what it is. It's just say, oh, it's our normal meeting. That's not as important as this that I got to get done now and release the code. So they're not going to go to your meeting. So you can't complain. So, but the thing is, I don't want to talk about is with Agile coaches, Scrum Masters, just coaches in general, managers, mentors. When they do see that, they like to say, I don't go to those meetings. But when they tell me that, I go, but you should really coach the person on why it's important to have an agenda. They miss out on that coaching opportunity. And that is something we're supposed to be doing, right? We just don't take a facilitation class to learn how to facilitate our meetings. We take the facilitation class to help coach other people on how to facilitate meetings as well, right? It's a big difference there, right? So when you lose out on this opportunity to coach them and say, well, people have to make decisions what they're going to do. And if you do it, you set up a meeting and you get half the crew. They're not there. There's a whole myriad of things about meeting dynamics that fall apart. And then people stop coming to your meetings because they don't see value anymore because no one else is going. I'm not going to go to a meeting if no one else is there, period, right? It's a waste of my time. Then you get pissed and say, I'm not going to your invites anymore because you don't coordinate, you don't provide enough information. So that is the coaching opportunity. So sharing that information and why and how and going through those invites you have to put stuff in, right? And I even do that with daily scrums. I mean, it's a daily scrum. I know, but put the list of people who are going to talk that are in there, because I like to invite stakeholders to my daily scrum because I have nothing to hide, never have. It's what the whole purpose behind on the board. Everyone who can walk by the hall can see what you're doing. So you can do the same thing virtual, no big deal. But then I also put like some team norms in there, what the typical questions are that we're going to ask, what things we want to make sure we cover as we discuss things and make sure the flow works. But I do include that. So it's not empty. It's not I don't know until I show up. I don't have time. We as people do not have time to wait till we show up to find out whether or not a meeting is valuable to go. They make the decision way before they show up to that meeting. Think about that. So what I just said there is things you need to coach your people on. So if you're an Agile coach in your enterprise and you see this, it's not your job to just not go to meetings. Your job is to coach those people on how to facilitate and have a proper meeting beforehand, because they make the decisions whether to go or not go way before the meeting occurs. So that's what I got to share today. Very simple topic. I wish you all the best today. Happy Scrumming. Please give us a thumbs up if you like our show. If you find this helpful and informative, that'd be great. Ring the bell once, twice, so you get a notification when we go live. Because I'll be honest with you, lately I've been going up and down because I got a late night Monday meeting, and then I coach someone in New Zealand after that. So I'm not getting to bed on Monday nights until like 11:30. So Mondays are tough because I actually watch the Sunday Night Football. And then Tuesdays are tough because I got some late night events that happen that I want to meet with people around the world. So sometimes those 2 days aren't going to be at 5 a.m. in the morning. So, but I do get up a little bit later because I got to walk this one over here and that one and feed the other ones. Anyway, I'm ranting now. All right. You all have a great day, and I see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. See ya.